up?
What's up?
Fact. I'm Alex, and that's Phil, and we're talking about some movies. What are we doing, Phil?
Whoa. What is it?
We are talking about movies because this is our new monthly segment, Movie Preview of the Month.
Oh, yeah.
Normally we talk about what's coming to cinemas, but since cinemas are closed, the world's ending and everything's gone to shit, we can't really do that. So we are now diving in deep into the streaming platforms and seeing what they are bringing home to your television.
I went real deep with this.
You always go deep, Alex.
Some of these are pretty desperate.
I'll start with the obvious. This is pretty monumental because I don't think a major film studio has ever done this before. Because of the outbreak, Universal has decided to release Trolls 2 on demand. So you can rent it from $19.99 for a 48-hour period.
To be clear, this is Trolls, the animated sequel. Not Troll 2, the worst movie ever made.
No. Oh my God! Not Troll 2, Trolls 2 World Tour. With
yes.
Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick as those lovable troll characters. They're not lovable, they're creepy. But it was supposed to release April 17th, got bumped up to April 10th because of the coronavirus. So you can watch it with your kids instead of watching Frozen 2 on Disney+.
That's pretty much the only major movie that got bumped that is actually still coming out.
Yes.
Tiny Diamond is my name. Come straight from my daddy's mane. My body's made of.
First one I want to talk about is a movie called Bad Education. It's actually coming to HBO on April 25th.
That's an adult channel.
Yes, it is. But it premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival in September and got...
Wait, let's go to our map. Alex, find Toronto.
It's just above New York. Huh?
It's above Buffalo.
Well, I can't see anything, but I'm assuming it's there.
This is a bit.
It's just a green screen. Anyway, it garnered a lot of positive reception at the film festival, so I'm interested to see this. It's directed by Corey Finley. He wrote and directed Thoroughbreds from a couple years ago, which I heard was really good.
Didn't watch it.
This is about a very large embezzlement happening at a high school. This is a true story. It's really events. The writer of this movie was actually a student there when it happened, which is so cool. And it stars Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, Ray Romano, which I think is a really good cast.
I'm for that cast.
I'm interested.
I like the story. You know what? I might steal HBO so I can watch this.
Yeah, you can just use my password.
No, I'll steal it.
I've been doing some digging. I'm concerned with what I found.
All of my next ones are going to be Netflix films because that's pretty much what I watch when I'm at home.
Everyone has Netflix.
Yes, they do.
Go for it.
Coffee and Kareem, starring Ed Helms and Taraji P. Henson, directed by Michael Dowse, who did Goon and Stuber. Yeah, that feel-good film of last year.
We did a review on Stuber.
Check it out.
It was fine.
It follows 12-year-old Kareem, who hires James Coffey, a police officer, to scare his mom for some sort of reason. And they just get wrapped up in this thing with cartel, kingpin, drugs, you know, the standard stuff for a 12-year-old. Whatever. We'll play a clip right now.
My mom dated just one guy, and we became BFFs.
You were BFFs with a grown-ass man? There's literally documentaries on Netflix about why that's so sick and up.
I think that's a different...
You expect us to be BF out of my face, man.
I couldn't help notice it sounds a whole lot like Coffee and Cream. Like how people say that.
That is the pun.
Here's a super obscure one.
No.
It's called Rent Due, and I had a really hard time finding this. So I believe it's available on Stars, or you can get it on Hulu with the Stars add-on, or something like that.
It's pretty attainable.
On April 10th. It's so stupid. It's just a group of people who spent all their rent money on hookers, and then they're like, man, I gotta pay rent.
Sounds
I got no
inspiring.
Rent money. And it's called Rent Due.
These ain't no goddamn fake-ass crocodile. That's the real shit right there. Give me my money, bitch.
I ain't got no money for you, Pete. I'm up.
How the fuck you paying them hoes? I saw hoes in here.
So it stars somebody, Ray Jr., and also that guy who I once gave a Lyft ride to, and Machine Gun Kelly.
What, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. I liked him in Roadies. Next up on Netflix is Sergio, directed by Greg Barker. And this is pretty interesting because Greg Barker did a documentary on Sergio. And if you don't know who Sergio is, let me tell you, because that's more important. Sergio Vieira de Mello was a diplomat for Brazil for the United Nations for over 35 years. He was a humanitarian. He's an important figure in history. Greg Barker chronicles his life. It's written by Craig Borden, who wrote Dallas Buyers Club. So,
You're here to support the U.S. That's the only reason you're here.
The reason I'm here is because you broke it, and you have no idea how to put it back together.
it's a pretty important story. You should definitely check it out. It stars Wagner Moura as Sergio and Ana de Armas, who's just in Knives Out.
Blade Runner 2049.
Sure.
And of course, the upcoming Bond girl in No Time to Die.
Yes, so she is in there, he's in there, people are in that movie. Check it out.
Here's one. Sella and the Spades.
Sounds awful.
I didn't know much about this movie, but I found it just now. It premiered at Sundance over a year ago, but it's getting released in the US April 17th because Amazon bought the rights to it.
They buy everything.
The story's not that interesting. Sella sells drugs at a high school. Sella sells drugs.
Bad.
It's a teenage drug drama. We've seen that, but what
Yes.
interested me about the trailer is it seemed to have a singular vision, a unique delivery of sound and imagery. It made me anxious when I watched it. I could tell that was the point of it, so it did that well.
The Spades deal in the most classic of vices. Booze, pills, powders, fun. Led by Sella, with Maxie at her side, they will push you past your limit so that you know what your limit is.
I've been hearing that the director, Teorisha Poe, is on an upswing with this movie. She's showing promise. So
Okay.
I'm interested just for that reason.
Sure, and pretty much everyone has Amazon, so you can check that out. The last film to drop on Netflix is Extraction. It's coming on April 24th, and it's a big one. It's got Chris Hemsworth, David Harbour. It's supposed to be released April 24th, and it follows Chris Hemsworth as a mercenary known as Tyler Rake. What?
That's a cool name.
To rescue the son of an imprisoned international crime lord. So, it seems like it's got that tension, that drama, that action.
Oh, yes.
It's written by Joe Russo. It's produced by Anthony and Joe Russo. If you don't know who those guys are, stop it right now. They did Infinity War and they did Endgame, and those are like the two biggest movies of all time.
And the actors are MCU too.
Yes! So,
I'm so much more interested in this all of a sudden.
this is worth the watch. Let's play a clip.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
There is a trailer, right?
No.
There's no trailer.
That doesn't look like heart-stopping action in your television set, but I don't know what is.
All right, we can move on. This next one is kind of reaching. Some might even call it a TV show, but I don't think it is. You might be familiar with Hulu's series Into the Dark. It's produced by Blumhouse. They release one horror movie every month, usually themed to a holiday of the month, but they're all just anthologies, so they're not connected or anything.
But is it a TV show?
It's both, all right? They're feature-length
You can't
episodes.
really be both.
Fine. No!
Only because you're really strict for
coming
content.
out in April.
The coronavirus.
So if you do watch this series, you might have seen the third episode. It was the Christmas one from a year and a half ago called Puka.
What?
And it stars nobody except for this guy, who I once had dinner next to with my family in an Italian restaurant.
Why do you have all these random stories? Stop.
It's basically about a guy who needs a job, and he finds one as like this mascot, and he's dressed as Puka, and he has to sing a song. Puka me, Puka you.
Puka see, Puka do, Puka me, Puka you. You never know what Puka will do.
The suit eventually takes over, and it makes him do all kinds of bad things, and it's evil. So that's the old one. I don't know what this next one coming out.
Please.
This one coming out is called Puka Lives. So
No,
it's
look,
basically a sequel. It's a bunch of people make stories about this legend called Puka, like creepypasta, and then it turns out to be real, and it's like, whoa, that's all I know. That's all I know.
The internet literally created a monster. It's taken on a life.
It's the return of Puka.
No, you need to provide information.
Supposed
to be informational.
Low-budget horror. If you like making fun of low-budget horror, this might be for you.
Just you, though.
That's all I got.
Okay. That is all the movies we found for April.
That's it. That's all of them.
That's all you have to do.
The world is imploding. We will do this again for May if there are films getting released in May, if we make it that long.
To make this series.
Check out those movies, come back to this video. Let us know if you watched one of them. We want to hear your thoughts.
Should we do an agree-disagree for any of these?
Yes. Some
Leave
of
a
them do
comment.
sound interesting.
Leave a comment, and of course, like and subscribe if you liked us, or if you don't like us, dislike it. I don't care. Because you have
free will.
Free will.
What the shit?